called me crying, saying that they put her in some isolated room and she's crying out for help, for assistance. They have her wound unbandaged. It's not secure. It's a fly flying around in the room. Nobody's coming to help her. She got to use the bathroom. She can't use the bathroom because her wounds are undressed and she's not going to the bathroom like that. Maintenance person came in the room. She told the maintenance what was going on. The maintenance person actually saw the fly and supposedly went out to go and tell somebody. Nobody showed up. Still crying out for help. She had to yell, raise her voice to get help. That's when they went to come in and try to discipline her. Oh, no, we don't yell around here. She said, I'm yelling because I've been crying out. I've been calling out, asking for help for about an hour or so. Nobody's been coming in.
Please, it hurts so bad.
Someone will be with you shortly.
Yep, that clip pretty much sums it up, except AI added the nurse, showing a little bit of, or giving the patient a little bit of attention by saying someone will be there shortly. But how about people walking past you like you're a ghost? Only saying something really after a complaint was filed. So with this, I'm going to share what I witnessed and things that she told me while she was in the hospital. And then I'm going to be in and out with, adding things that I may have forgotten in this video and adding a little more commentary and background. Well, please listen to the story, folks. And, if you experience something like this, please hit me up. I'm going to provide the email that I want you guys to send your stories to, what have you, in the description. Other than that, let's get on with it.
It was an hour doing a video talking about what I said I was going to talk about, what happened to my sister in the hospital. And I had the microphone connected to my phone and I didn't have it on. Jesus Christ. So listen, I'm gonna do this as quickly as possible because I'm exhausted. I have on the shades. Let's address that. Oh my God, why are you wearing shades? I have on the shades because this light is bright. I needed more light. And 2, I have dark rings under my eyes because that's how tired I am. I've been moving nonstop for like several weeks. I'm exhausted. So I was like, listen, I got to do this video because if I don't do it, it's not going to be done. Let me give you a little bit of the background to show you what I've been dealing with. Our nephew, our baby sister's son, 30-something-year-old man, boy, stole over $7,000 worth of my jewelry and took some cash from me, feigning like he was going to go out and take care of some business for us and never came back. Yes, I'm pressing charges. He didn't just burn bridges. He obliterated them. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything else. But so I was dealing with that. For some reason, my sister said while he was around, she did not feel comfortable going to the hospital. She said she just didn't feel comfortable, and I see why. There was some strange things going on with him the last week he was around us. I knew something was off, but I didn't know exactly what it was. Yes, he took like 4 chains. 1 was customized. I had a customized gold chain with a matching bracelet. I had a gold rope that I had ever since 2002.
So if you see anybody in LA or any part of Southern California or anywhere in this country walking around with that bracelet and chain is stolen, call the police on their ass. And whatever comes his way because of what he did to me, if you bought or took that chain from him and he stole it from me, be ready to go through the same thing he's gonna go through. I promise you it's not gonna be good.
So it's very sentimental. The other ones, yeah, they meant a lot to me too. So
okay, let me share briefly how I think he accomplish this. Well, it wasn't an accomplishment. Anyway, it was 3 Sundays ago by now. Okay, so he was supposed to make a run to the grocery store. It was like I wanted some fruit, some apples, some things like that, and my sister wanted some canned fruit. It was just simple things, and then he was supposed to go out and get some lunch and come right back because he was supposed to help with something I needed to do here at home. Time went by. Matter of fact, the dude is so, I don't know what he was thinking about, but he FaceTimed me while he was in the grocery store showing me what they had available so I could pick, we talked briefly on FaceTime and then that was it. Time went by. I'm like, damn, what is taking him so long? It shouldn't take that long to go to the grocery store. You was at the grocery store, so you should have went off to the other place to get the lunch and come back. It don't take that long. So started calling him. Call went to voicemail. Text unrespond. I was like, damn. So after a while, I started getting a little concerned with, did he get in an accident? Did he get jacked? What's going on? Whole day and night went by. No response. I was like, okay. So I started looking around at things, observing things, noticing things. I was like, oh, okay. I see what's going on. So when I realized the Negro jetted out in my vehicle, I was like, look, you need to bring my car back. That's all you do is just bring my car back. Nothing. So the next morning, I called LAPD and I was getting asking questions, getting answers, and I was advised to go to the station to file a police report. Because at that moment, even though I allowed him to use my car, he had ghosted, wasn't responding to text messages or phone calls. So at that point, it was considered stolen. So I'm getting ready to go. I was like, yeah, let me put on a little jewelry. I have a jewelry box sitting on this china cabinet I have in my room. So I'm looking in there. I was like, damn, this look light. Realized my jewelry was gone. I have silver chains in there and other jewelry, but I realized my gold, majority of he left 2 pieces of gold chains or necklaces and then took the rest. I was in tears. I went and told my sister, I was like, he didn't take my custom made necklace. At that point I was just like, I'm over this thing. So I'm like, this is how I think he did it. When he was supposed to go, right? He claimed he had to make a run. He had to go recycle some bottles. And it was a Sunday. And I'm like, recycle some bottles? I was like, okay. I mean, I'm thinking like, you gonna do that on a Sunday? Just go to the grocery store, because we had to do something when he got back. I have a Ring camera facing the street. So once I realized what was going on, I started looking at the camera. This is what the Negro did. He put things in his black bags like it was feigning like they were recyclables. But the way he was holding the bags, you knew it was heavy. It was weight to it. It wasn't plastic. So he made several trips. So what I think he did was he put his stuff in the garage and took it to the car like it was recyclables. Then I believe he did it the last day that he was here. He took my chains because my bedroom is connected to the back door. So it's easy to access that and bounce. This is what he did. He brought my bag to me. The way he looked, the look he had that just struck me as odd. And I was like, okay, I'm still things just something not adding up, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Then he dipped out. I looked at the camera, saw him get in the truck. I didn't see anything on him. Like, ooh, let me hurry up and get on. Let me hurry up and get out of here before she realized something is gone. Nothing. He casually walked, put something in the truck, got in the truck, drove off. Here's the thing that I'm thinking about over and over. Not over. I'm pondering it. I'm not obsessing over it. A month or so ago, it could have been longer than that, I was having a subtle thought that I shouldn't have my gold sitting on my in a jewelry box sitting on my dresser like that. I should put it up. But I didn't. I was talking to somebody I know. I was telling them about what happened, and they was like, "But you don't think that you have to do that in your own home." I said, "Right." I had the thought, but I'm thinking it was like for like people coming over doing repairs or whatnot. But I'm usually in my room. If they have to do repairs in that area of the house, I'm in there. So that's what I was thinking. Like, who gonna come in my house and take my stuff? We don't let everybody come in our home. Didn't know it was the enemy within. Then my sister said, check and see if we took your money. Because I like to collect $2 bills, right? I was like, oh my God, please don't let me. So I have this security box. It has a digital lock and everything, but I kept it unlocked because, like I said, who's coming into my house? So I went and looked in my drawer, all my cash gone. I said, this See, the problem is, the reason why this betrayal is so deep is because he's the only person in my entire family who knows me and my sister, right? Treated him as a son since he was born. He knows that we ain't the type of person to go and find your ass with some hot ones. He knows, blood or not. He knows I'm not, I think before I act. And I had no clue where he went. So I would have been driving around the city with something on me, hoping that I didn't get pulled over. Why? Just because of jewelry? I could not see myself taking somebody's life over material things that can be replaced. It was the principle. It was the principle that you set your ass up in my face for over a whole week. He was acting weird, just weird. And I said some things to him a couple of times about it. Like, what's really going on? Oh, nothing. I'm just getting out, going for a walk, 7-something in the evening, not coming back to 1 o'clock in the morning. I was like, something is not right. All right, let me continue on with what happened to my sister.
So anyway, I ended up taking my sister to the ER. People kept saying that Martin Luther King was different. It's better. It may be better aesthetically and so far as a little more high tech, but the bedside manner is to be desired. And I really believe there's a lot of anti-Black man practice there. I really do believe it. Just because of what she went through. And a staff member shared some things with her. My first encounter with some staff members was nice nasty. They were nice nasty. I was making sure that they gave her identification back. Not saying anybody was gonna steal it, but hey, I don't trust nobody. It was getting nice nasty responses, but I wasn't trying to go there with them. I was just trying to make sure that my sister got the help that she needed. I asked one of the transporters who was taking her from where I pushed her into the ER, taking her somewhere else in the ER. I asked him to make sure that she was taken care of. He looked at me kind of strange, like, all I am is the transporter. And I'm like, listen, I'm just talking about, period. Will you make sure they take care of my sister? He said, okay. But you know what that meant, in my face. He wasn't going to say how he really felt in my face. Of course, they don't do that. So it started quick with the mistreatment. Okay, when I drove away, I talked to her, to find out what was going on with her. She said she's being transported to another area in the ER. A little bit after that, she called me crying, saying that they put her in some isolated room and she's crying out for help, for assistance. They have her wound unbandaged. It's not secure. There's a fly flying around in the room. Nobody's coming to help her. She got to use the bathroom. She can't use the bathroom because her wounds are undressed and she's not going to the bathroom like that. Maintenance person came in the room. She told the maintenance what was going on. The maintenance person actually saw the fly, went out to go and tell somebody. Nobody showed up. Still crying out for help. She had to yell, raise her voice to get help. That's when they want to come in and try to discipline her. Oh, no, no, we don't yell around here. She said, I'm yelling because I've been crying out. I've been calling out, asking for help for about an hour or so. Nobody's been coming in. She called me and told me what was going on. So I was calling around trying to speak to the supervisor or manager of the ER, whoever, somebody in charge. She finally got transported to another part of the ER. And that's when I drove up there because she kept saying they want her wounds to be undressed. And she was like, this is ludicrous. This is, anything can get on these wounds. And I've never, ever, left my wounds uncovered like this. This is not good. So I was like, okay, well, I'm driving up there with her supplies and we're going to wrap these wounds up. And I wish you would tell me you can't do it. They wanted the wounds. The doctor who ordered her, put in an order for her to do an MRI, wanted the wounds undressed. I don't understand what the F that had to do with anything. But I was like, all you guys got to do is just take the bandage off. The doctors that she sees currently tell her often to keep her wounds dressed, and that's what she does. You the only one got her rolling around with flies in the air, telling her to keep her wounds undressed. That don't make sense. That's a health hazard. Medical neglect to me.
Please, I need some help.
I drove up there. We talked to some other people on the staff, and they was cool. They dressed her wounds for her. She had access to a bathroom. Mind you, prior to her being transported somewhere else, she hadn't been able to use the bathroom. So she was holding her urine. And anybody who knows anything, you're not supposed to hold your urine like that.
Also, I forgot to add, remember I had to do this video over, so I have pictures of her wound. The people who were doing her wound dressing, because she had to get it changed regularly, they had her leg look like mincemeat. And so when she left the hospital, what they did was when they dressed the wound, they would put the date and the time on the tape that's on her wound. That's around the gauze on her wound. So I took a picture of that to show that it was done in the hospital, and also a picture of how her wound looked after being in the hospital. Those people didn't know what the F they was doing. That was another issue she had. She was crying out. She said she would be screaming in pain because they weren't taking the dressing off right, because it would stick to her wound. She said she told the doctor, like, these people do not know how to do basic wound dressings. She also said for some reason they had a hard time trying to find her vein to give her IV or liquid medication. They beating up her arm. She got bruises on her arm. I really was believing that it was intentional, retaliation, because if you were on the phone and you heard how these people were talking to her, one of the first nurses that she had the unfortunate displeasure dealing with when she first went in the hospital, it was so many times I had to stop myself from getting in that truck and driving them to the hospital. So let's continue.
I just immediately started filing complaints and grievances and talking to directors. You think it changed? No, it didn't. It got worse. I talked to a charge nurse. She reassured me that she was going to take care of, help my sister. Next day I was talking to my sister on the phone. I hadn't heard what took place prior to me talking to her on the phone, but this transporter, he was a side, he was a transporter / comedian, went into a room with some students following him. I guess he was showing them around, whatever, a sign to show them around. So he thought it was a beautiful thing to antagonize my sister, because she was trying to take this nose ring out of her nose so she can do an MRI. She asked him for soap. He told her no, just snatched the nose ring out her nose. I came in after he said this. I was on the phone talking to her after he said this. All I heard was him in the background cheering and jeering and clapping hands, and I'm hearing multiple voices laughing in the background. My sister told him to get out of her room. She doesn't want a clown taking her anywhere. I was like, girl, what's going on? She told me what he said. I was like, wait a minute, he said that to you? She said, yeah. I said, why would you say that to someone who's already in excruciating pain? I said, there was nothing funny about that. Okay. Seems like every time I talked to her on the phone, she was crying out of pain, crying out of frustration. She asked me she said, you can't even talk to these people. She said, anytime you ask them one question, they come with these nasty attitudes. She said, I asked this one person that came in that was helping another patient, I asked her for some tissue. She ignored me. She said, anytime I ask them to do something for me, they'll help me literally waiting for hours. I was on the phone when the nurse came in and said she just signed in and this, that, and the other. And my sister at that time, she was frustrated. The nurse was like, well, what can I do to help you? What can I do to help you? I literally just signed on. She said, okay, wait a minute, I'm going to come back. She never came back. I asked the charge nurse to help her. This same charge nurse that had so much understanding over the phone. When I went up there, my sister called me and asked me to bring her some water because the water is deplorable up there. You had staff members that said the water sucked. I drove up there to take her some water. The same charge nurse that I talked to act like she has so much compassion and understanding had a completely, totally different attitude when I went up there. They called public safety on me because I asked the transporter / comedian why did he feel that was appropriate to say that to my sister. I stayed like 5 to 10 feet away from that guy. Hispanic worker called public safety. Angry black woman. I got too much to lose to be going to jail over you. You gonna call public safety on me because I asked a question? I said, all right. Just keep giving me more so I can document it. Talk to the floor supervisor. She acted like she had so much understanding, but I kept asking her, will you dismiss these public safety people so I can discuss or talk to you about what's been going on with my sister? She was like, well, they're just following protocol. So she wasn't going to dismiss them. And then I started talking about the history of the hospital and why I don't see that many Black Americans working there. She said, well, I'm Black. I just ignored what she said because I knew she wasn't Black American. We was talking about something, and then she mentioned being Black. I just kept talking about the disparity up there, and I said, I need to find out the demographics. Majority of people I don't see my people, and this hospital was built due to the struggle and fight that Black Americans had to go through because there was no hospitals in this area. And now you come up here and I barely see them. Majority of people I'm seeing are not Black Americans. She said she's Black again. I said, you Black American? They were like, oh my God, what does that have to do with anything? I said, the fact that you don't know, that has a lot to do with everything is the problem. If they built hospitals for communities in certain areas, you think it would be filled with Black folks working there? That would never happen. Why do they feel the liberty or freedom to do that at our facilities? I mean, we can share. I mean, a hospital is a hospital. It's supposed to be there to help people. But why does it seem like the people who are not getting help are not getting kindness when they come in excruciating pain in a medical situation, not being considered? Why are those the ones who are Black American? And there was a staff member that confirmed my suspicions. By the way my sister was being treated, I knew that Black folks was not being treated right in the hospital, and the staff member confirmed that. Well, my sister, she told her. She said, the only reason I'm staying here is because I'm looking out for Black folks because they're not being treated right in this hospital. She gave an example of what happened between a white man and a Black man who were sharing a room. The white man felt the need to get up and spit on the Black man. The Black man beat the dog feces out the white man. And guess what the white man did? Called the police. I'm not going to go into details about what happened because I don't want it to be known who this person was that was talking to my sister about the issue of Black people being treated unfairly in the hospital. She also said that she went to Hades to do some kind of medical work out there. And she said Hades is not a place for any person. From the time she got admitted in the hospital until I took her home, this woman was crying. Whether she was either she was in pain and they had her waiting hours for medication. They had her waiting hours. But it was like difficult getting out of that bed and then being in pain. She had to get assistance. They would have her waiting hours. And like I said, the charge nurse that I spoke to, her attitude was so nasty when I went up there. The day I went up there to take my sister some water, she was so nasty. Because she had her whole, her people around her. She had public safety, Hispanic staff members. Public safety was Hispanic. Mm-hmm.
528, bed B. 5 South, 528, bed B.
Y'all some evil people in this hospital. Because y'all don't have the right people working in here. Is she back? No. Where's Jasmine?
She's on lunch, but she's coming right now.
Always on lunch.
Yeah, she's coming. Yeah, she's coming.
Why y'all on lunch? Y'all don't do nothing. Y'all don't help the patients. They cry for hours. And y'all don't listen. You don't answer. That's medical abuse. And I had to come up here and check on my sister. Y'all gonna get it.
Hello.
Are you Jasmine?
Yes, how can I help you?
Okay, what's up?
You can be recording first, but I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
what's up with my sister waiting 2 hours before she gets help today?
I'm gonna need you to stop recording.
What's up with my sister waiting 2 hours to get help? So yeah, I have my phone out for my protection, and I'm pretty sure, you're not supposed to be recording in a hospital. But there are laws and federal laws and state and local laws that you're not supposed to be prejudiced and racist and a pure asshole when you're in a service position, helping people, especially when they're in a vulnerable state, asking for or needing medical assistance. So yeah, you're not supposed to do that, but you do it. You mistreat people. You take out how you feel on people, and you're a nurse or a doctor or a tech. You take out how you feel on people, and you're not supposed to. So yes, I did have the camera, I had my phone recording because, as I said, it was for my protection because I don't trust folks. They love to embellish and fabricate things and create scenarios that didn't happen. You guys heard how I was talking. You heard the calmness in my voice. I wasn't yelling and screaming and being ratchet like they like to paint us out to be. As I said, I know how to conduct myself. I have a lot to lose. And I also had a conversation with Jasmine on the phone, as I stated earlier in the video. She knew who I was. I told them who I was and who I was looking for. She knew who I was. But her whole approach towards me was so unwelcoming. Yes, how can I help you? Like she never talked to me. Like I said to them and the public safety police and the floor supervisor, I said, I really do believe that if I was Hispanic, it would have been a whole lot of compassion and understanding going on. A whole lot of it. Let's continue. A lot, folks. So I'm just telling you, I'm just giving you the basics of how my sister was treated. Like, I think animals in a vet would have been treated better. She had a nurse that came in there. She said the nurse was just like hawking her down when it came to her taking her pain pills, just standing over her, watching her. She said the nurse was white. She said out of all the nurses that came in and administered medication, she was the only one that was hawking her down. She said, like, what am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with this medication you're giving me? I'm not going. So it was deplorable. My sister is sweet. She's a kind person. She's my older sister. I'm not just saying it because she's my sister. And the way they treated her, they better thank God, literally, that I think before I act. Because a lot of people don't, especially when it comes to their loved one. They don't think before they act. So this is what, it's not even a warning. It's a promise that the days of you guys, it's like they have no shame. Like, they don't know the history of that hospital. They don't care to know. All I know is they have this takeover spirit. And my thing is, if you can't take over your own country, how are you so comfortable trying to take things over in someone else's country that wasn't even built for you, and you don't have the decency to share? You go in somebody else's house and try to take it over, and you have no shame. We have to stop allowing these people to feel so comfortable trying to take things over that is ours. We don't have a problem sharing. That's the thing. Black Americans don't have a problem sharing. Other people do. Black Americans, we need to stop making these people allowing these people to feel so comfortable thinking they're going to come over and take something over. You're not going to keep bringing your ass to my country, not fighting and standing up for your rights in your own country, but you're going to come out here and you're going to make demands and you're going to utilize things that was set in place by our people before your ass even came here. And you think you're going to come over here and you're going to take over and then you're going to shove us out. No, you about to get shoved out. I don't care how democratic California is. California can't protect you. Your time is up. And then going into our facilities thinking you're going to run something and you're going to run us out? Black Americans, you should be ashamed of yourself allowing these people, first gen, second gens, people who couldn't make it in their own country, come out here thinking they're going to tell you what to do and run you out of your place. It's over. It's a done deal. And I'm not going to stop until I see all of y'all packing up and going back to your country. And that includes white races who are immigrants too. Time to pack up and go back to hot ass Europe that's baking y'all. Some people were saying in the comments when they were talking about how hot Europe is, they were saying they wanted. Black folks were saying they wish it was hotter. Like if it was 200 degrees in Europe, they wanted it to be 2,000. I'm coming for y'all. You're going to wish you never came in this country and allowed these racists to put a battery in your back against us. You're going to wish that your parents chose to stay in your country and fight for their rights than to come in mine and treat my people like crap. You're going to wish that you never heard the word America. A whole bunch of cowards came over here trying to be something. Because you got a job. Because you got a career. And you didn't do what my people did. Right after slavery, they amassed millions of dollars without the help of the government. You getting help from this corrupt, evil government and you bragging about it, but you don't get help from your own government. Brag about that. Talk about how your country really is. I'm talking about every single immigrant, whether you came from Europe, Spain, Guatemala, Mexico, Africa, Hades, the Caribbean islands. Let me hear you talk about your government and what your ass can do if you was still out there. You be on the side of the road selling hot, rotten fruit. You come out here, you get a little job, you get a little car, maybe buy a little house, and you all that. You like, okay, you got help. My people is the only group of people in this country not get help from this government, but we still amass fortunes. While you guys can't even get a basic job in your own country, you got to leave your country to go around the world to get a job just to feed yourself. It's over. The delineation was just one drop in the bucket. And I'm coming for these politicians that encourage you to act the way you act. I'm coming for all of them. Whether you Democrat, Republican, local leader, national. Whether you look like me, whether you're a melanated immigrant, whether you're Black American, whether you're European, German, Asian, it doesn't matter. African, Islander, coming for you. It takes one. It just takes one person. God can use one person to move a mountain. And it's not a threat, it's a promise. When I'm finished with you guys, I want to be so terrible for you that you can't even buy a loaf of stale bread. I don't want you to be able to rub 2 pennies together. That's what you wanted for me and mine. And ain't nobody gonna show you mercy because you didn't give it. Y'all picked the right ones. And if Martin Luther King has to shutter, close their doors one last time, so be it. Oh, well, you rather get rid of the whole hospital or push to get rid of the whole hospital just because of, oh yeah. If my people are going to be hindered from using a hospital the way it was intended to, you ain't using it. You ain't going to keep using our tools and resources and shoving us out. You ain't using it. And to those who think I'm just talking, okay, go ahead. Keep thinking I'm talking. I really don't care. I'm not trying to impress you. I said I was going to do a video, and I'm a woman of my word. That's the only reason I'm just doing a video, because I said I was going to do it. But I don't need your support or encouragement to do what I'm going to do and have started. All right, folks, thank you to those who listen, who rock with me to the end. I might turn these comments off because I just don't have time for no foolishness. Dealt with some situations in hospitals when it came to your people, and you understand, and you like where I sign up, or if you didn't, or if you did, and you just, if you don't care, I don't care that you don't care. But this is for the people that want to know what can be done when their loved one was mistreated. And it's not even just if they're Black, period. If you're mistreated, your loved one went to the hospital and they were mistreated, you want to talk about it, send me an email. We can talk about it privately. We can talk about it anonymously. But let's just talk about it and stop allowing these people to think, and not just immigrants, people in these hospitals, stop letting them think they can do whatever they want to and don't say nothing about it. Me and my sister came to the conclusion that the reason why a lot of this is happening at that hospital is because a lot of people don't speak up. Intimidated, don't know how to speak up. And you guys don't say anything, and that's why it keeps happening. But like I said, all it takes is one person. One person who is fed up. And I'm beyond fed up. I'm beyond looking at people coming to my country, something open, thinking they're going to take something over, and that includes racists. Time for you to go back to Caucasus Mountains and prepare you a spot in that cave. And all your little minions can go to Caucasus Mountains with you. Don't look back.